Previously on Tell the Tale with Nyambura.
And I used to be so prayerful. I used to tell God, please protect me from any harm, and I will serve you.
Having a father in your life is so important because he's a security. Bado dada anaendelea na kazi kule kwa airport, anaanza sherehe zake raha hivi kukunywa kidogo kidogo, aka lose job yake, and now he decided there was nothing for him there. Sure, akaenda for good. The universe mirrors your labor. You can never reap where you never sowed. Welcome to Tell the Tale with Nyambura. Hello guys, thank you for joining us for yet another wonderful episode. And if you have not watched from episode 1, you need to get back there. Go to Clear Capture Productions and listen to our stories from episode 1, and then you will catch up with us. Otherwise, thank you for all your comments. We've been seeing all your feedbacks, all the positive feedbacks you've been giving unto us. Na sitaacha kuwahimiza, may you go there, subscribe to our channel, help us grow this channel, like and share our videos so that we may know that people are getting inspired. Otherwise, today we have a beautiful story that I can't wait for you to hear. Let's get to it. It was just a normal morning for me. I was working and I received a call from home. And the one who called me told me that I needed to go back home because my dad had come back. I was so surprised. I did not know how to feel, whether to be joyful, whether to be sad. I did not know. I had a lot of anxiety. So I took a day off. I told my boss that I was going to take a day off to go and meet my dad at home. I could not even wait for a matatu. I took a boda because the place that I was working was was a bit far from home. So I took a boda and we came as fast as we could. And I remember when I reached home, I was walking at a certain path that leads to our homestead. And I was wondering, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to even say to each other? I had nothing. I was blank, but I wanted to see him. I wanted to see how he looked like. And when I reached home, I just greeted him. I did not even know whether to hug him or not. I was in some mixed up emotions. Everyone was there at home and they were all quiet. The same happened to me. When we got there, he asked some questions. How have you been? Where are you now? What are you doing? Such things. But my questions, so much of the questions that I had, I was unable to ask because I wanted to ask him, where have you been? Why did it take too long for you to come back? Why did you not communicate to us? All those were questions in my head that I was unable to ask. Remember, we used to live in fear of what if I say something and someone gets angry, I'll be scolded. All those things were things that we lived with fear for. So I could not ask him, but I wanted to. So we talked for a while. We shared a meal. And then after some time, I went back to work. I told him I work at a place and I'm needed to go back. So I went back. But I saw him in a situation that was questionable. He came back and I anticipated to see a person who was loaded with money, considering that he had gone for work. And I expected to see him come back with a lot of luggage, some shopping. Those are things that I so much anticipated. But he had come back in a nylon bag. I know some people may remember the yellow bags that we used kitambo. Zilikuwa za yellow, zilikuwa na calendar. He came back with that nylon bag and clothes in it. There were very few clothes. When I looked at him, he had a jacket that had metallic buttons, but they were rusted. He was not in a good condition, and it was visible to us, but we did not question anything. But one thing we knew, that wherever he came back from was not a good place. It did not do well for him, and that's why he was back. So that day was over. I went back to work, and every one of us went back to their places of work. Shughuli za maisha zikaendelea. After a while, he started calling us and asking us for money. Of course, we used to send money to our mother whenever we went for jobs. And now we used now to send to our father, because now he's back, and sometimes he would call and ask for money. So this started becoming regular. He would call on a regular basis. Remember, now he does not have a job, and my mom does not also have a job. And so he started becoming like a burden to us. Let me give you this scenario. He came back when my older brothers were already married, so they had their own families. As for me, I had already finished my high school education. My younger sister, she was also working somewhere. Alikuwa mahali kazi zake. Our youngest brother, now our last born, whom my father had left akiwa 5 months, was now a teenager. Even if bado alikuwa shule, but he was a grown-up boy. So it was not easy to come and start now putting some rules, commanding some authority to people that you've not been together with for almost 2 decades. It was not easy. And also for us, we used to see him as a stranger, because he left us when we were so young, but now he has come back when now we are grown-ups. One thing, we were not used to having some authority. As for me, remember, I was born again now. I used to go for church events. I used to go for keishas. I used to go for conferences, which would even take days. Unaona hizi camps za kanisa zenye watu huwa wanaenda for 3 to 4 days. Now, it was so hard for me to start understanding that I am needed to ask for permission from a person who has just come back into my life. It was also not easy for me, particularly nitaongea kujihusu mimi. We used to make our own decisions. And that is why when our father came back, he was a big burden to us. Another thing about him that did not sit well with us, his drinking habit. Bado alikuwa nayo. He still had it. So he could go and drink and also come back and start fighting. He could come up with issues. He could come up with very small issues and start beating us because of them. When he came back, he did not like what we had become. He did not know that we were doing the things that we were doing because we had no choices. It's not like we had money to go to colleges, or we had money to go to good schools so that we can have good careers. But we did what we did because we did not have choices. He came back and found my brothers were married. He did not like their wives. He came back and found me as a house help. He did not like the job that I was doing, but yet he wanted my money. He did not like how my sister had turned out. He did not like my brother because now he has, our younger brother was now a teenager. And you know teenagers can sometimes be cumbersome. His drinking problem was still on. Bado alikuwa anakunywa. So whenever he could go drinking, he could come back home and start fighting my mother again. Faizo sasa hatukuwa tunakaa nyumbani. Mtu hata alikuwa anatamani ukue away from home because chaos was a daily thing. It was ni kitu ilikuwa inafanyika on a day to day basis. So pia mamangu hakuwa amezoea kuwa na a husband. She had adapted to being alone. Yeye na watoto wake waishi maisha yenye wanaishi without mtu mwingine. So when my father came back, it was so hard for her now to readjust. Na sasa aone I now have a husband. It was also hard. So every time we would receive calls, there are fights at home, we should come and try to mediate things, talk to our father, maybe he would listen to us. But those behaviors did not change. So at some point mtu alikuwa anatamani, I wish now to go away from home and not come back. Sababu mkiwa nyumbani sasa ni vita na mnachapwa. Sasa imagine now a grown up like me, mkiwa sasa mnatoroka kwenu na nyinyi sio watoto tena, you are grown ups. So it was chaotic. Mind you, before he came back, we used to love home. We used to love being at home. I remember many nights we used to eat at home. Tunapika chakula pamoja, even if it was not good food. We used to love home. Tunapenda, hata our cousins used to come home because we were friends with our cousins. They used to come home at night and eat with us ugali and sukuma wiki, and it was we had beautiful moments together. Our brothers used to come for supper, wanakuja wanatupea stories. We could sleep late at night tukikula tu story. But when my dad came back, it was never the same again. He came and made our home a very lonely place. You could not come home and feel at peace. I always went home and felt I need to get out of here the following day. I can't stay here because even communication, we did not know how to communicate to him. So even in his presence, we always stayed in fear. We could not ask him any questions unless he asks you. And most of the time you could even lie to avoid the conversation getting to the opposite direction. And even our cousins could not come home any longer. So all those moments that we had, ziliisha tu hivyo. Then it reached a point where my brothers could not now watch him beating our mother. So they started conflicting. Whenever he could fight my mother, my brothers used to come to try and defend our mom. And then he could tell them, why did you bring her back? You are the ones who brought her back and built her a house against my will. I did not want her back, but you decided to bring her back. And that would always leave us in question. He could always say that I did not want this marriage. It was over. When she decided to leave, that is when I decided that it's over. And I demolished the first house. So that would really lead us to a lot of stress, knowing that we are in a place where we are not wanted. I could tell that he was fighting some past issues or some stress, but I could tell that was not the way to fight it. That was not the way to deal with issues. We started hating him now. The love we had for him turned now into hate. and we could not want him to be near us even if he was our father. Hata akienda vibarua hakuna kitu ananunua. We could always get back into our pockets and buy food. And remember, we are doing also casual labor. Wakati mwingine tulikuwa tunakosa hizo kazi za nyumba, unaenda vibarua za shamba, unapata pesa. Sometimes hata hizo pesa ukipata, anazitaka aende akakunywe ama mnunulie sigara and all those things. So he was a huge burden for us. We started seeing him now as a burden, and considering that hata hatutaki, hatupendi na hata hasemi kitu, kila wakati akikunywa analala akitutusi, that was so stressful for us. After so many days of fights and chaos and lack of peace in our family, an opportunity came up for him and my aunt. There was an aunt who wanted to put up a hotel in Nairobi, and she called him to help her set up the hotel and managerial stuff. He went for that job, and at least this time we knew where he was. We knew that he had gone for a job. We knew where we could find him in case we needed him at home. We could call him. We now had his number. So we had all access to him, but we wanted him away from home, because whenever he was at home, he was not at peace. He could drink a lot and cause a lot of chaos at home. So at this particular point, we were so happy that he was leaving. At least we could go back to talking, laughing together again, having our meals together again, telling stories and all those things. My mom could be at peace again, no going out at night, no sleeping at our neighbors' homes at night. So it was a bit now manageable. And he went and he started working, and our life continued. All these things that were happening really affected me, particularly because I was now a grown-up. I was now becoming a lady, and I needed to see people who were role models to me. I needed to see things working so that I can emulate them. I needed to see a working marriage. I needed to see a happy family. I needed to see peace so that I can now start seeing how I can become, I can have my own family, vile nitaiweka and all those things. But they were not there. They were not present in my life. So this made me now start hating men, and also start concluding that marriages do not work, because in my environment, marriage was something that was not working. Marriage was a place where there was no peace, there was no joy, there was no happiness. So I concluded to myself that marriage cannot work, it's not possible. So I started now hating men. I could not date someone. I was so repellent to men, because why should I yearn for something that could bring all this chaos? I thought to myself that if this is what it looks like, then I don't want it. I would want to stay alone. And I remember having a debate with some of my friends and telling them, I don't want to get married, because if this is what it is, if this is what marriage looks like, then I do not want this for myself. So that really affected me, and it really took a lot of prayer and a lot of Bible reading and all that, and counseling also, to become the person I am right now. And also having been married, it took a lot of counseling. I really was a church girl. I used to pray a lot. I used to go for seminars and all those things that young people go to, and they really helped me. They helped me see another world, that people can be happy, people can be at peace. I used to visit other homes, and I could see peace and joy, and that really changed my perception about marriage. So next time I will come and tell you what happened later now, because a lot really happened, and I would really want you to hear this story. The reason why people live regrettable lives is failure to own up to your own mistakes. Pride makes people not accept that they made mistakes, and they need to own them up so that they can start earning trust again. If you want to earn trust again from people who you had failed, you need to be humble and start a journey of friendship, rekindle love, whether it's in marriage or in your children or in friendships. Own up to your mistakes and start fixing things before they get worse. A particular point reaches where you cannot change anything. Stop being proud, be humble, and you will be able to turn your life around. So thank you for watching this episode. I hope it's an inspiration to someone. Until next time, bye-bye.
When you will see your miracle. Oh, na, 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 na. Someday, 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 you're gonna see your miracle. Someday, 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 you're gonna see your miracle. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord. Trust is the man who trusts in a man. Blessed is he who seeks God's approval. Cast is the one who